So what I want to talk to you about today is how you can leverage Auvik to help improve your MSP's profitability. I'm going to start off with just a little bit of an introduction on who Auvik is for those people who aren't as familiar with us. I know we've been around for a number of years, and probably a lot of people on the line here are saying, hey, I'm familiar, but if you're not, don't want you to leave to the end of the presentation going, Steve didn't actually tell me what they do. So we are cloud-based network infrastructure management and monitoring. Our MSP partners leverage Auvik to help discover, document, monitor their clients' networks, and stay on top of network issues. Complementing existing endpoint tools that focus on the endpoint side, we provide that network visibility. And so what are those things that we do? Really, it's about three things. It's about visibility into the network, monitoring that network, and automating network tasks. And what does that mean? It means seeing exactly what is on your client's networks, understanding exactly every asset that's connected to that network, documenting it, inventorying it, mapping it out. It's about monitoring those assets, understanding how they're performing when there's issues, staying in front of those, so you're not getting a call from a client saying, hey, my network's down, you're more proactive. And it's about automating manual tasks. So things like managing configuration backups, you don't want to be spending time doing that. So we take some of those simple tasks and automate them to help your team be more efficient. So, why partner with Auvik? Because your peers do, your colleagues do. Auvik is the trusted network infrastructure management monitoring partner. We've been at this game for years. We pioneered the space within the MSP community. We've been doing this now for 3,000 customers and MSP partners, managing 58,000 end client networks. That's a lot of networks under management at Auvik, and over 4 million devices with a few 100,000 network devices there. So definitely a big presence, and we're happy to help support all these different networks. So specifically today, I want to focus on network visibility. That was that first pillar that I sort of highlighted in that screen before, the visibility monitoring automation. Network visibility, it's all about a path to improve profitability, right? It starts with being able to see what's on the network, because you can't manage what you can't see, and you can't secure what you can't see. So network visibility is where it all starts. So how can network visibility help improve your profitability? Really, it's about three key things. The first is about improving efficiency with a shorter onboarding process. So getting new clients onboarded into your standard practices sooner. Next, it's about finding new revenue opportunities within your existing customer base, uncovering things that you hadn't found before with your legacy tools, finding new product, service, and hardware opportunities, which we'll dive into in a bit. And finally, it's about boosting retention rates with proactive network visibility. We all know that keeping a client and growing a client is much more cost effective than trying to find a new client. So how can we boost those retention rates with that proactive network visibility? And we'll go through a couple examples here to help highlight how these three things can help lead you to improve profitability. So first, all about improving efficiency. I had one partner put it to me that Auvik has reduced their time spent on client setup by 90% and have cut onboarding time by at least a month. And how did they do this? They let Auvik's automation drive the discovery. They deployed our little collector, our sort of device on site to clients during that onboarding process, quickly gaining visibility into the whole network while they're able to do other tasks as well. That's sort of an automated process. They enabled Auvik to sort of run for a period of time and then configure tunes that network and the alerts on that network to thresholds that are relevant to that client site. And those activities take no time at all within Auvik. So this is all about operationalizing clients faster and less of those one-offs so that you can have a standard tool stack, a standard client sort of onboarding process that allows your team to not have to ask questions about each specific client site. They've been onboarded to your standard processes faster. Next, it's about new revenue streams, and this comes in many different forms. We can talk about new service revenue, new project revenue, and new hardware revenue. And we'll explore each one of these a little bit as we go here, and I'll start with the last one, new hardware revenue. I don't know how many deployment calls I've been on where we've deployed Auvik out to an end client site, and the MSP I'm talking to says, "Wow, I didn't know that was there." Right? Like whatever that is always changes. It could be a switch they didn't know about. It could be another non-standard device, but there's always something that they don't know about. And so using Auvik to discover all of that unmanaged gear, the end-of-life systems, outdated firmware, and then you can put together a proposal to help upgrade this hardware. And this introduces a new revenue stream as you're replacing that hardware. And we can all argue on whether the margins on hardware are worth it or not, but there's still that opportunity to sell some hardware. But not only that, you're going to stay in front of the client's needs. So whether you're making a ton of money on the hardware or not, you're going to stay in front of the needs of that client and be a more effective partner for them. So building on this, oftentimes our partners have structured their managed services such that hardware upgrades become project-based work. That's another revenue stream. You can, as part of these upgrades, you can have some project-based work to help deliver on those upgrades. And finally, the new service revenue. And this is an area that we uncovered a couple of years ago talking to a number of our partners where they basically said, hey, we're not monetizing the network today, right? We're charging on a per user or per device basis, but we're not really focusing on the network infrastructure, but we're expected to manage it. So leveraging Auvik, you can start to introduce a managed network service where you can, whether it's something that you just build on as a premium service or sell it as an add-on to your existing services, or bundle it in and justify an increased price for your service. That managed network service component allows you to increase your profitability by exposing a new revenue stream by managing the network more effectively. And finally, I mentioned improving client retention rates and how it's a lot more cost effective to retain and grow an existing customer than is to land a new one. So I'm going to share a bit of a story here, apparently quickly, because I just got the bell. So we had a client, or one of our MSP partners had a client that was looking to reduce their managed services contract, questioning how proactive the MSP was. Ultimately, in what seemed like perfect timing, that MSP received an alert from Auvik saying, hey, there's an internet connection issue here. The MSP was able to jump on that alert, proactively reach out to the client, resolve the issue, fixed it with minimal downtime. And ultimately, the end result they got was they ended up keeping that client. And not only that, but they grew that client by expanding into other locations as well. So this being able to be proactive with that network issue, not waiting for the client to call, but getting that visibility from network management platforms such as Auvik helps them close more business with that customer. So client retention, super valuable to your overall valuation, and anything you can do to improve retention rates is a win. All right, wrapping up. 3 ways that you can help improve your profitability with Auvik. First, shorter onboarding, less one-offs, less exceptions, get clients operationalized faster. And you can do that by automating your network onboarding process with Auvik. You're going to find new revenue opportunities in existing customers by looking at different hardware, product, and project revenue streams. And you're going to boost client retention rates with proactive network visibility to help you service your clients better. And that's it. Thanks for having me here today. Check out Auvik in action. You can go to auvik.com/get trial after the session here today, and I will be in our breakout room later as well if you have any questions for me.